What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we have the final day of the Summer Cup, as we do have a rotation later on today to all 3 leagues. So for those of you who have been in the Summer Cup for 2 weeks, probably really thankful, scratching to get back into all open leagues. And today I just wanted to try one last team. It is going to be a Skeledirge Shiftry core, a lot of fun there, and then a Dugong safe swap. Obviously Dugong, I love it. It is so good. You guys have seen it time and time again in my videos, and it's for good reason. It is absolutely dominant. It is absolutely meta. But Shiftry kind of pops off a little bit today. Skeledirge does what Skeledirge does. There's a lot of great play to be had. A lot of great games as well, so I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, getting into the first battle, we have Quagsire here on the lead. So obviously a tough lead. We're going to go ahead and swap into the Dugong, and we will see Credilli come in. Now this is what's beautiful about Dugong safe swap, is you're going to be drawing out things that you can do a lot of damage to. Whether it's neutral or super effective, you're going to have an answer, as Icy Wind here can do a lot. And what's also great is I can easily take switch advantage. So I'm going to go ahead and give up a shield here as the rock slide is going to be thrown, and then we should be able to fully farm down. This is what's beautiful about Dugong, is if you can land a charge move in a situation like this, you can easily farm down and maintain switch advantage. All I need to do is give up 1 shield, and I do have a loaded charge move ready to go. So now we get to see what is going to be coming in, and it is going to be Charge-a-Bug. So we're going to look to go for Icy Wind here. Kind of wish I didn't go for Icy Wind, because what it's going to do is lower the attack. They're going to swap out anyways, right? When I come in with Skeledirge, they're going to swap out. So they're actually going to get more energy than I really want them to. So I should have been going for drill runs. As you guys can see, they got quite a bit of energy right there. So we're going to come in with Skeledirge. I'm fully anticipating them swapping, and we're going to go ahead and come in with Shiftry now into the Quagsire. And this is where things can get a little dicey. Stone Edge does a lot of damage, and we are down 1 to 2 shields. So this is going to be a very dangerous endgame, as Quagsire is very spammy with Mudshot and Mud Bomb or Aqua Tail, whatever they have on the low energy cost side, and then they have the Stone Edge that they did land. But I think we can still win. So now this is going to be a tough call. I mean, I'm going to shield, but what I'm hoping for is the ability to survive a Mud Bomb. That is what I'm praying for. So I'm going to overload to 2 charge moves, knowing that they're going to throw, trusting in my Shiftry to survive. And it does, barely. And we have the back-to-back Leaf Blade. So I'm going to make a 400 IQ play and anticipate my opponent swapping. And they did. They were trying to catch the Leaf Blade because I had back-to-back. We were able to get the farm down there with Skeledirge and Incinerate, and now we can go for Shadow Ball here against the Quagsire, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. Obviously, that was the play to be made by my opponent, to try to catch that Leaf Blade, but Skeledirge was on top of it, so good battle. Alright, moving to the next one. We have Shadow Ampharos here on the lead. This can be kind of tough to deal with. You have Volt Switch for a lot of neutral or super effective against some of our team, right? Skeledirge and Dugong, and you have the Brutal Swing there. But what's great is the Incinerate damage that I'm able to do, and I should be able to take lead switch advantage here, as we do get a shield, and we get an Incinerate through as well, which is perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and give up double shields. Now this is going to be kind of tough if I can fully commit, but I think I can, because they need 3 Volt Switches, which they do. We are able to get the full farm down, and now we get to see what's going to be coming in. As we have we don't have advantage in terms of shields, we're down, but we do have switch advantage, which means we can align the Dugong here to this Noctowl. And Incinerate and Disarming Voice is really going to start adding up here against the the top hat, bow tie Noctowl. Haven't seen Noctowl in a long time after the Sky Attack nerf that it got. Unfortunately, that kind of definitely put it down the rankings in terms of Pokemon used. It's still great overall, it just costs a little bit more energy to get to a charge move. But Skeledirge did its job. We bring in Dugong here, and we are in a very safe position where I can easily farm down with Ice Shard. I do not need to throw a charge move because the Shadow Ball or Sky Attack is not going to threaten this Dugong in any way, shape, or form. What I want is Icy Wind debuffs against whatever's in the back, unless we are doing super effective damage, which is going to be the case as we do see a Lantern. So that is going to be a good game. I can easily go for double Drill Run. I could go for a Drill Run, swap into Shift Tree. There's a lot of play to win this game. So we're just going to go for the double Drill Run, swap out, go into Shift Tree here, and now we have Snarl and Leaf Blade, and that is going to be a good battle, very well played. Not a lot they can do, especially since I took lead switch advantage, which was actually pretty pivotal for this game, but good battle nonetheless. Alright, moving to the next one. We have Shadow Kanto Ninetales here on the lead. This can be a bit deadly if it gets a lot of energy. So we do see a Dugong safe swap, which is fine. We can easily go for a Shadow Ball here. The Incinerate damage was also adding up quite a bit, so we will be getting ourselves the 2-to-1 shield advantage. So we're going to go ahead and come into that Mirror. Dugong Mirror is perfectly fine, perfectly safe to be in if you have the damage advantage that we have done, plus the shield advantage, whether it's 1-0, 2-1. We're in a very good position to maintain switch because that's so important, as we do not want Shift Tree aligned to the Shadow Kanto Ninetales. So we're just going to go for Drill Runs right here. I don't really need to be going for Icy Winds at any point, unless... No, I don't need to be going for Icy Winds, let's just be honest. I have plenty of health. I can easily give up a shield here towards the end if I want to, which I believe I do right. No, I do on the next one. So I let this one go. It is going to be Icy Wind. I was going to shield whichever one was going to get me close to knockout, right? But by them going for Icy Wind, this actually means this Drill Run here will not KO. So they're going to be able to get to another charge move in time, which is fine. But I can easily give up a shield to maintain switch advantage. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we will farm down. And this is where things get a bit interesting. We kind of get in a bind. I was calculating where's the potential win con here. I went for a blind Icy Wind, thinking it was going to be the Ninetales. But granted, I could have gotten the double Drill Run anyways. But I thought maybe I could go for Icy Wind and 2 Drill Runs, had that been the case. But what we have here is an Azumarill that is going to be farming us down. Now, if I swap into Skeledirge, I'm potentially in a really bad matchup because they obviously are going to be resisting the Incinerates and Bubbles doing super effective damage. If I swap into Shift Tree, I lose my switch advantage and give up my only counter to Azumarill. So my best bet was to come in with Shift Tree and no shield this charge move. That is my call. To no shield, it is going to be an Ice Beam. That is fine because they cannot get to back-to-back charge moves. They have to do one bubble in between, and by that time, Shift Tree can throw the Leaf Blade, so we knock out the Azumarill. We swap into Skeledirge right away. The Shadow Kanto Ninetales is coming back in, and this is where things get very dangerous. We are now toe-to-toe with a fellow Fire Boomer here, and it's actually going to be Psyshock, which is unfortunate because Psyshock is a lot of neutral damage. I was hoping for Weather Ball, but also they don't have Overheat, most likely. So there's a potential win con there. I'm desperately trying to get to the Shadow Ball, but they get to the charge move in time. And if this is Psyshock, I think we go down, but it was Weather Ball. We were able to hang on. So we got a bit lucky right there. Just looking back at, obviously there was a tough situation being. I think I messed myself up by going for a blind Icy Wind. Could have just gone straight Drill Runs. But yeah, good battle. Alright, moving to the next one. We have Jellicent here on the lead, so we're going to swap into Dugong right away. And we do draw out Credilli. Now, once again, this matchup is so good. It's incredibly good when you're ahead on energy. Credilli is not an answer to a Dugong in a situation like this, especially when I can force, or when the lead advantage is so dominant for one side when ahead on energy, right? Which is that Jellicent to Skeledirge. So I can easily no shield right here. We can go for Icy Winds. I am sitting good. I do not care, as Icy Wind will be knocking them out. So now we have the Jellicent coming back in, and this is where I get to see I'm very fearful of an Ice Beam. But if I see Shadow Ball here, which I do, odds are they have Surf paired with it. We do see Shift Tree. I'm going to bring the Shift Tree in, obviously, and go for the Leaf Blade right away. just to get that pressure down, I really want to get the damage or the 2-to-1 shield advantage, which we get the damage down, which is fine. And now I'm not concerned, but they actually bring in Weeping Bell, and that's, well, Skeledirge can take care of that. So they decide to surrender, so that's going to be a good game, very well played. All right, moving to the next one. Vigoroth on the lead. This can be a tough lead to judge, because granted, Vigoroth is going to be beating our backline pretty handedly, right, with counter against the dark and ice typing. But Skeledirge here can take out Vigoroth in the 0 shield, or we take it to the 2 shields, right? So we're going to go ahead and go for Disarming Voice. That is our neutral damage. You do not want to be going for Shadow Ball in this situation. And these Incinerates are really going to start adding up. And because I'm able to get 2 Incinerates through before the next Rock Slide, or 2 Disarming Voices, and I get this Incinerate through, this is going to call to me to go ahead and shield, because now I can easily get the Disarming Voice off, and I'm just going to go for it right away. Might have been able to farm down with Incinerate there, but that would have been close and I didn't want to risk it. So we just do a complete knockout, we maintain switch advantage, and we do see Toxapex come in. So we're going to try to go for Shadow Ball, but I decide to bail into Dugong. And this is where, like, if you haven't invested in Dugong yet, right, a good PvP IV Dugong, giving it the double elite TMs, this is what's going to show you why you need to invest in Dugong. Because we're facing off against Chargebug in the 0s, right? This is a bad situation. But Dugong is so unbelievably good that my opponent risked trying to fully farm down, and they got caught red-handed. And Dugong is able to actually win this situation because they didn't go for X-Scissor. So that is going to be a good game. We have Skeledirge and Shiftry. We just got to be concerned about the Sludge Wave, which is going to do a lot of damage. So this is, well, I just want to say this. The game is not over yet. So I bank the Shadow Ball there. I swap into Shiftry because I need to get 2 Leaf Blades off in order to potentially win this game, or at least the 1 Leaf Blade and some extra Snarl damage, because now, if this is Sludge Wave, which is most likely going to be, I have to win this game with the Shadow Ball that I had banked. So we're going to go for it here. If it doesn't knock out, so be it. But Skeledirge is so unbelievably good. Boom! That is going to be a good game, very well played. Alright, moving to the next one. We have Toxapex once again on the lead. So we are going to look to load up on energy and try to land a Shadow Ball if we can. Now, I don't know what they have. I mean, obviously, we haven't seen anything on the field yet. So we gotta be careful about, and there's a signal. They're gonna go ahead and shield, so they are concerned about Skeledirge, which makes me think there's something else in the back that it's weak to, maybe some type of grass, potentially, right? So we do see a Pancake swap in, the Unova Stunfisk, which, much like Chargebug swapping in late and behind, it's not going to have a good time, especially since we're doing super effective damage now. So Dugong is just going to completely take this mid-game matchup. I will knock out the Stunfisk, and if they decide to give up 2 shields, which they do, I now have a 1-0 shield advantage, and I do not need to shield a Discharge. Look at the damage that it's going to do after 2 Icy Winds. That's nothing. Dugong can fully farm down from this range, and this is why Dugong is so powerful in its worst matchups, right? Vigoroth, Chargebug, Lantern, Grass-type Pokemon, maybe even Registeel. You have the answers for it, and this is why I always use Dugong, guys. It's just way too good. So I decided to shield. It was just a brine. I could have survived that, but we're going to go ahead and go for the double drill runs here. There's a lot of free damage on the table for me, and I just want to get this Toxapex out of the game, but unfortunately we don't get to the second one in time, so they will decide to go for double brine here, and that's going to knock us out. So I come in with Shiftry. We see a swap out into Tropius, and well, that's going to be a good game. Skeledirge is going to come in and make quick work of it. Tropius does have access to some nice neutral damage there with the Aerial Ace, Charge Move, and Air/Fast Move. but I don't really need to worry about it just yet. So I'm going to overload just a bit, go for Shadow Ball here, and we should be able to close this game out either with a Shadow Ball here from Skeledirge or the Leaf Blade from Shiftry. So that is going to be a good battle, very well played. So we will go for the Shadow Ball. But yeah, this team putting in some work, having some fun. Obviously, Skeledirge, I think, is putting in the most work for me. But Shiftry is carrying his weight in some of these battles. Good battle. Alright, next one. We have Chargebug on the lead. They will swap out right away into Quagsire, so we're going to bring in the Shiftry. This is once again a situation where you got to be fearful of Stone Edge, but you don't necessarily have to shield. Now, if they have Sludge Bomb, like, so be it. Like, a Quagsire running Sludge Bomb would be just ridiculous, but I'm guessing they have double Mud Boy in the back, considering they swapped one. So we're going to let this Stone Edge go through. We're just going to keep loading up on energy and then try to go for a double Leaf Blade because they only have one shield remaining. So we can safely shield this Mud Bomb and then look to go for double Leaf Blade. So I will build up to back. And now we're in a great position right here where Leaf Blade is just going to one-shot the Quagsire, which it does. Boom! See ya! And then Chargebug likely coming back in. So I'm going to just look to go for Foul Play here. But they bring in Credilli and then they swap in Chargebug. So I think they were trying to do a peekaboo move right there. They're trying to bait out and catch a Leaf Blade. But I wasn't concerned about the fast move pressure whatsoever. So I'm going to save the Leaf Blade there and swap in. Yeah, so with like Bullet Seed and Volt Switch, I'm not threatened. Which is why I wasn't so clicking it right away. It's a good attempt by my opponent. Like, don't get me wrong, trying to catch a resisted charge move to try to make a play, right? The Leaf Blade going into Chargebug. That is a play left in the game. But unfortunately for them, Shiftry just had a little too much health, and I could easily survive any of those fast moves and then counter swap by bringing the Skeledirge to close this game out. Obviously, we still have Dugong, right? So we got the Ice Shard, Icy Wind combination. I'm going to go ahead and no shield right here, as I want to close this game out with Shiftry and the Leaf Blade. So that is going to be a good battle, very well played, as the Leaf Blade now is going to be coming up. Slightly delayed right there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to click it right away, but Leaf Blade is going to knock out, and that is going to be a good battle. Alright, moving to the next one. Skeledirge versus Talonflame. Woo! These are always tough ones. Talonflame is a tough Incinerate user to be facing off against. So we are going to try our best to go and land a Shadow Ball. My hope is that they think I'm going to go for Disarming Voice shield bait, but they decide to shield anyways. So I decided to no shield this one, thinking, you know what, maybe they go for Flame Charge, which they did. So I'm going to go ahead and let that go, which is great. And now I'm gonna have to shield the next Flame Charge, right? It's gonna be enough to knock me out, and I think I can get rid of this Talonflame if I go for double Shadow Ball here. But it's gonna be really close. That an extra Incinerate damage is actually adding up more than I thought, and they double shield, and I'm not able to get to a Disarming Voice there. So we're in a bit of trouble. It's not looking good. We come in with Dugong. I'm thinking, okay, I'll take the fly damage. That'll be fine. It's a Brave Bird to my face. And I'm like, oh, God. I got to come in with Shiftry to try to snarl down. In comes a Superior. So this game's not over yet? Like, the Talonflame is still a big issue, right? But if I have Dugong with the health remaining, and maybe I can come out of here with some health on Shiftry. Obviously, we're going to have to shield the Aerial Ace. But what I'm hoping for is the Snarl Foul Play damage. I'm hoping it's going to be enough, because this should be just enough to knock out, but it's not. The Superior literally hangs on with 1 health point and a Dream. Now, obviously, the Talonflame would have come in and incinerated me down, and there's also going to be a Lantern in the back, so it's just all bad news bears. Good game to my opponent. The Brave Bird threw me off guard and hit me like a truck. So good battle. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This team was pretty fun. It is our last day of the Summer Cup, so we have all 3 leagues available coming later today, so look forward to that. I'm going to be diving into a bit of Great League and Ultra League, a little mix next week, as I haven't done Ultra League in a while. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today's team. good games to all my opponents, and like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.